I've known this place my whole life. I remember the church community being a safe place where I felt loved and I felt affirmed, and I knew that there was a God who cared about me. As I grew up, I remember the experiences at camps and the young adults and adults who poured into my life and told me that there was a purpose for me. My first missions trip was with the high school ministry here at church. And I remember that trip being shaped by this experience of feeling alive in ministry like I never had before, and began to serve in our local community in our church. After a season of serving in youth ministry, I then stepped into this current role as executive pastor of the church, guiding the staff and guiding our church in this transition. It's been in this latest season that my heart has grown more and more for the church, and I feel like God has called me to take the next step toward becoming the senior pastor. One of the questions that's come up often in the senior pastor process is, what's my vision for the church? When I reflect on that question, I'm often taken back to not what's my vision, but what's Christ's vision for our community. I believe Jesus has a vision for our church of being a body of believers where every single one of us is empowered to serve and to grow. We're meant to be a community where people who are on the outside or on the fringes can come and find a safe place to discover God's kingdom, discover the gospel. And through that, they're embraced into an authentic community where they can be known and they can grow. And then finally, I believe Christ's vision of His church is to be a missional community, an outpost where we're sent out into this world to bring His good news and to bring His kingdom. I believe Christ's vision for our church is bigger than any one person. It's going to require each one of us using our gifts and taking our place in the body of Christ. I understand, though, that the role of senior pastor comes with a special weight to it. My wife Kat and I have been praying together for months about this, and we really do feel God calling us to take the next step. I do believe, though, my first commitment as senior pastor is to care for my wife and my daughters. As much as I love serving at the church and watching people grow, even more exciting to me is watching my family grow. Each of my 4 daughters has a different personality and has unique gifts. And watching them come out of their shell and learn and grow has been so encouraging for me. Each little one has taught me more about love and about patience and about how to really enjoy this gift of life. And my wife, Kat, has been one of the greatest counselors to me in my life, just walking through joys and sorrows together. I can't imagine life without her on this journey. I'm praying for our church, and I'm excited for what God has for us next.